Have you ever had your day ruined by a single comment? A dismissive remark, a sharp criticism, a snide jab that cuts deeper than you'd expect. In that moment, you feel a tightening in your chest, a rush of anger, confusion, or even shame. Your mind races, searching for the perfect retort, the comeback that will make them feel what you're feeling. But often, the words get stuck, or we blurt out something we immediately regret, only to replay the conversation endlessly in our heads. This isn't just about winning an argument. It's about protecting your inner peace from the noise and negativity of the world. In this deep exploration, we're going to reveal how to transform these moments of attack into opportunities for unshakable composure. We'll arm you with strategies that silence aggressors not with aggression, but with grace, dignity, and a profound sense of self-possession. Stay with us until the very end, because mastering these responses is about more than just words. It's about mastering your mind. And if you find value in this video, please consider subscribing. It's the single best way to ensure you don't miss any of our future lessons on cultivating inner strength and wisdom. Part 1. The Invisible Battlefield. Your Inner World. The real battle isn't happening in the words exchanged. It's happening inside you. When someone lashes out, they're aiming for your composure, your self-worth, your sense of calm. The sting you feel is your ego reacting, your ancient defense mechanisms screaming for retaliation. This is where most people lose the fight before it even begins. We get pulled into their emotional storm, fighting on their terms, with their weapons, anger, defensiveness, sarcasm. But here's the secret. You don't have to enter that battlefield. Your mind, your emotions, these are your sacred territory. No one can invade them without your consent. Our goal isn't to silence them through force, but to silence their impact on you. It's about maintaining your dignity, not winning a public debate. It's about remembering that true strength isn't found in a sharp tongue, but in an unmoved mind. Part 2. The Core Principle. Composure over comeback. Think of the most powerful leaders, the wisest figures you admire. They rarely resort to yelling or personal attacks. Instead, they exude a quiet authority, a calm confidence that commands respect. This is the essence of our approach. Composure over comeback. When someone attacks you, they are essentially handing you a loaded gun. Your composure is the choice not to fire it back. It's the conscious decision to protect your peace above all else. This isn't weakness. It's the ultimate display of self-mastery. It signals that you are not easily provoked, that your dignity is not fragile, and that you are in control of your own emotional landscape. This sets you apart. It tells the aggressor and everyone watching that you operate on a different, higher level. Part 3. Response 1. The Humble Inquiry. Help me understand your reasoning. Imagine someone dismisses your idea with a vague negative comment like, "That's a ridiculous plan," or "You're completely out of touch." Your gut reaction is to defend, to argue, to list all the reasons why they're wrong. But this just fuels their fire. Instead, pause, take a breath. Then, with genuine curiosity in your voice, simply say, "I see your point. Help me understand your reasoning." This isn't an attack, it's an invitation. You've just forced them to shift from emotional reaction to logical explanation. Most vague attacks cannot withstand the light of reason. They'll either stumble, revealing their lack of substance, or they'll actually offer a legitimate point you can then engage with. You transform from a target into the one gracefully leading the conversation, inviting them to demonstrate their wisdom or expose their prejudice. Part 4. Response 2. Strategic surrender. You're absolutely right, and here's what I'm going to do about it. Sometimes the criticism stings because deep down you know it's true. Maybe you did make a mistake. Maybe you were late. Maybe you overlooked something. Our ego screams, defend yourself. But defending a legitimate fault only makes you look insecure and immature. This is where strategic surrender comes in. If the criticism is valid, own it immediately and completely. Say with clarity and conviction, you're absolutely right, and here's what I'm going to do about it. This response is devastatingly effective. It immediately removes all of their ammunition. They expected a fight, and you offered an action plan. You disarm them, you demonstrate maturity, and you show that you prioritize solutions over saving face. This isn't about being weak. It's about being strong enough to admit a fault and strong enough to take responsibility. You turn an adversary into a potential collaborator. Part 5. Response 3. Curious exposure. That's an interesting perspective. What made you think of it? Then there are those comments that are just plain provocative, perhaps a thinly veiled insult or a prejudiced remark. Your natural inclination is to get angry or defensive, which is exactly what the aggressor wants. They thrive on your emotional reaction. Instead, when faced with such a comment, maintain a calm demeanor, hold eye contact, and with genuine, almost academic curiosity say, "That's an interesting perspective. What made you think of it?" This response is a spotlight. It turns their aggressive gaze back onto themselves. They are now forced to examine their own motivations. Most often, they have no rational basis for their insult, and they'll either fumble, backtrack, or reveal their own bias, looking petty in the process. You remain dignified, while their own words expose their character, not yours. This is the essence of the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Part 6. Response 4. Unexpected gratitude. I appreciate you sharing that with me. This one feels counterintuitive, especially when someone is being overtly critical or even hostile. Our instinct is to push back. But sometimes an aggressive comment comes from a place of frustration or a legitimate concern poorly expressed. When you're ready to respond, simply say calmly and without sarcasm, "I appreciate you sharing that with me." This response disarms hostility with unexpected gratitude. It derails their entire script. They were prepared for a fight, not for you to acknowledge their effort, even if their delivery was terrible. This works wonders in situations where there might be a legitimate underlying problem, e.g., a neighbor complaining about noise. By acknowledging them, you shift the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration. You show you're secure enough to receive feedback, and in doing so, you can turn an adversary into a potential ally. You are demonstrating that you value their voice, even if their tone is off. Part 7. Response 5. The Eloquence of Silence, Silent Pause, and thank you for that insight. This is perhaps the most powerful and demanding response of all. When faced with a truly egregious attack, a cruel remark, or an utterly unfounded accusation, the most profound response is often silence. When they finish their verbal assault, do not immediately react. Instead, hold a deliberate, impactful pause. Let their words hang in the air, exposed for what they are. This pause forces everyone present, including the aggressor, to process the inappropriateness of their attack. Then, when the silence has done its work, make eye contact, maintain your calm, and simply say, "And thank you for that insight." The contrast between their aggression and your serene dignity is stark. Your composure highlights their lack of it. Your quiet, gracious response makes their poor behavior look petty by comparison, often damaging their reputation more than their words could ever damage yours. This is the ultimate demonstration of Epictetus's wisdom. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Part 8. The Power of the Pause and the Breath. Notice a common thread through many of these responses. The pause. The space between their words and yours is sacred. It's your moment to choose. Your instinct will be to react immediately, to defend. Resist this. Take a slow, deep breath into your belly before you say anything. This simple act does wonders. It calms your nervous system, preventing the fight or flight response. It gives your rational mind a chance to engage, and it creates that powerful, impactful silence that forces the other person to wait, shifting the power dynamic. The pause also signals that you are not easily flustered. You are not a reacting machine. You are a thinking, self-possessed individual. This deliberate space is your shield, allowing you to deploy the right response rather than an impulsive one. Part 9. Cultivating the Inner Fortress. Daily Practice. These aren't just techniques, they're reflections of an inner state. To truly master these responses, you must cultivate an inner fortress through daily practice. Mindfulness, practice being present. Notice your emotions as they arise, but don't let them immediately hijack your actions. Observe them like clouds passing in the sky. Journaling. Reflect on past interactions. How did you react? How could you have reacted using these techniques? What triggered your defensive reactions? Perspective. Remind yourself that most attacks are not truly about you. They are projections of the other person's fear, insecurity, or unresolved issues. When you realize this, their words lose their ability to wound you personally. They become mere noise. Self-worth. Reaffirm your own value, independent of external validation or criticism. Your dignity is inherent. It cannot be given or taken away by another person's words. The ultimate freedom. Emotional self-sufficiency. The ultimate goal of this journey isn't just to win arguments or to silence bullies. It's to achieve emotional self-sufficiency. It's the profound freedom that comes from knowing that your peace, your worth, and your emotional stability are entirely within your control. You are no longer dependent on the approval or the good behavior of others to feel good about yourself. When you can calmly meet aggression with grace, ignorance with curiosity, and insult with dignity, you demonstrate a level of personal power that is truly magnetic. You become a person who cannot be rattled, whose spirit cannot be broken by harsh words. You become a beacon of calm in a chaotic world, inspiring others to seek that same inner strength. This is true power, earned through self-mastery. Conclusion: your path to unshakable calm. You now have 5 powerful responses, rooted in ancient wisdom, to navigate the toughest conversations with dignity and grace. Remember, I see your point. Help me understand your reasoning. If it's true, you're absolutely right, and here's what I'm going to do about it. For provocation, that's an interesting perspective. What made you think of it? To disarm, I appreciate you sharing that with me, and for the outright attack, pause, and thank you for that insight. These aren't just words. They are an invitation to stand firm in your truth, to protect your peace, and to respond not from reaction, but from a place of unshakable calm. Your journey to an unmoved mind begins now. If this message has empowered you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs this wisdom, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel so you never miss a lesson on cultivating inner strength and wisdom. Thank you for staying with us until the end.